Hey everyone, welcome to homerecordingmadeeasy.com, learningtomix.com, and here on my YouTube channel. And in this video, I'm going to answer 3 more questions from the group of questions that have been coming in over the last few weeks. Another episode here of Questions and Coffee with David. This is where I answer all the questions that you guys have around your home studio, recording, mixing, and mastering, so I can help you through some of your frustrations and get you guys on the right track. So we're going to look at 3 questions in this episode. If you like one of your questions answered in an upcoming episode, please email me at info@homerecordingmadeeasy.com. Once again, that's info@homerecordingmadeeasy.com. Somewhere throughout this video, you will see that email address come up at the bottom of your screen. Send me your question. I will get it into a future episode. So before we get to this week's 3 questions, if you like what you see in this video, hit that subscribe button below. It helps me out tremendously. Also, go out to facebook.com/homerecordingmadeeasy and follow me there. And for more tips, tricks, concepts, and training around all aspects of home recording, mixing, and mastering, be sure to go to homerecordingmadeeasy.com and check out the Quick Mix series and the Made Easy series. They will absolutely help you make better music in your home studio. And if you want to really dive deep into the craft of mixing and learn how to become a better mixing engineer, go on and check out learningtomix.com. I have a mixing training membership website with my good buddy and colleague Pete Woj from mixbetternow.com. We teamed up, created this mixing membership training website where every month we mix different multi-tracks. We have mixing contests. We're giving away plugins and hardware and all kinds of cool stuff. A growing community of like-minded individuals who want to get better at the craft of mixing, learningtomix.com. So now let's head on over and check out our first question for this week. Our first question comes in from Steve, and Steve asks, "Hey David, I have a quick question. I have a short multi-track concert that I've recorded and imported into Studio One Professional. I would like to turn each song into an individual track because there are different issues on individual songs. That seems difficult to me. What would you say is the best practice on a project like this? Also, it's only 7 tracks and no drums. Thank you, teacher Steve." Well, Steve, thanks for writing in. So I just recently did a video on how you take a live performance, like a live concert, chop it up into separate songs, export the stems, so then you can bring those stems back into a new session and you can mix each song individually, which is what I think you're asking here. So go check out that video. Basically, it shows you how to set the start and end points with your marker flags in Studio One to the start of a song and the end of a song. And then when you go to export Mixdown, you're going to choose in the dialog box, it's going to ask you, what do you want to export? And you're going to choose the item that says between start and end markers. And that's how you kind of distinguish the separate songs. And then what it'll do is you'll export the stem files and you'll go ahead and take those stems, bring them back into a new session, and you can mix them that way. So there is a video on my YouTube channel. It was recorded sometime in late January, early February 2018. Go check it out in the archives. You'll see it, and it shows you exactly how to do what you want to do. So thanks, Steve, for writing in. If you have any other questions, be sure to hit me back, and I will get your question in another video. Next question comes from Dave. And Dave's got a long one here. Let's see what we got here. So he says, "Hi, Dave. First, thank you for making such easy to follow videos about your UA setup, Universal Audio setup. I normally don't reach out to someone after just watching a video, but I'm kind of stuck. Ironically, my sales engineers at Sweetwater were also Joss Estock, who has greatly missed as his last day was in January. Yes, Joss Estock of Sweetwater.com is someone that, if you've been following my channel for a while, you know I used to buy all my gear from him. He's moved on to greater things in his life, and he's no longer at Sweetwater. So anyway, best wishes, Josh. Thanks for helping me out over the years. I really appreciate it. Sweetwater.com's the best. Anyway, his system currently consists of an iMac. He's got a Dangerous Music D-Box. He's got an Apollo 8 quad. He has some native instruments that he's using, Waves, and he has a full Sound Toys plugin suite. Really cool. For the most part, the music I produce or mix down consists of dance, electronic, R&B, and jazz. I do very little recording with a microphone, so it's mostly remixes or instrumental tracks. My question is, what would you recommend for additional Universal Audio plugins? I purchased one of the 6-pack promos, but after spending hours watching YouTube videos and doing some research, I'm still just as confused when I started. The ones that I've been able to narrow it down to are the SSL 4000 channel strip, the API channel strip, the Neve channel strip, the Neve 1073, the ATR 102 tape machine, the Studer tape, the AMS RMX16, the Korg delay, and the BrainWorks Digital V3. Any help would be, or advice would be greatly appreciated. Dave. So you're asking me what are my recommendations for Universal Audio plugins. Well, everyone you listed there, I own, and they're all great. I love their channel strips, the API, the Neve, and the SSL in particular. If I had to pick one, probably the Neve 88RS. I'm just kind of a Neve guy, but the SSL is great as well. So anyway, any one of the channel strips is great. I mean, anything Universal Audio, anyone that's been following me for any length of time knows they're my favorite. They're kind of my go-tos. I do use a lot of stuff by Waves and Slate Digital and even PreSonus and FabFilter, and there's other companies as well. And most of that is because I have to have a large variety of different tools for teaching and educational purposes. Not everyone can afford a Universal Audio rig. And so that's why I use those other plugins in a lot of my teaching. I don't use Universal Audio in a lot of my teaching, only in some of it, because not everyone has the budget to get a Universal Audio system. And those plugins are great too, by the way. But my go-to and my favorite in my Desert Island plugins would definitely be the Universal Audio over anything else, hands down. I'm just most familiar with those. I love the way their stuff sounds, and anything that you've listed here or any of their plugins I think are great. I don't think there's a real bad one in the bunch, and I own most of them. So the answer to your question is, if I had to pick, if you put a whole list here, let's say I pick two. Pick the Neve 88RS channel strip. Also, the Studer tape machine, the multi-track tape machine, fantastic tape machine. So those would be the two out of that list, but you can't go wrong with any of those plugins at all. But I'm a big channel strip person, so I hope that answers your question, Dave. If you're looking for something even more specific than that of an answer, hit me up again. I'll try to help you. And congrats with your UA setup, and let me know how you make out, man. That's awesome. I'm always here to try to help someone with Universal Audio. And now the last question for this week's episode comes in from Chris. And he writes in, "Hi, David. As ever, I'm enjoying your tutorials." Well, thanks, Chris. I really appreciate that. Question: do you use early reflection and also parallel compression on all mixes? Using these tend to overload my laptop. However, it seems that there is a possibility of upgrading my RAM on my Lenovo, I think that's how you say it, laptop. There are so many similar models that I'm not getting a definitive answer as of yet. YouTubers on the whole say yes. Crucial is the supplier certainly seems to be the one with the answer I want to hear. Anyway, I've had a hand over. Oh, I had a hand over my PC to PC World to advise. They sold it to me, and they would have to fit it in order not to void the warranty. I trust all is great in your world, Chris. Okay, so he asked to send his PC over to the place that he bought it to do the RAM upgrade so he doesn't void the warranty. It's always a good idea if you don't want to do it yourself. But the question is, do I always use early reflections and parallel compression on all mixes? No, not on all mixes. Early reflections is something I teach in Mixing Made Easy Volume 2, the Advanced Series, and I highly recommend you go check that out. And I talk a lot about early reflections and what it is, blah, blah, blah. And also parallel compression. I tend to use parallel compression more on most of my mixes as opposed to early reflections. Early reflections really all depends on what I'm really trying to do with the mix and how it was recorded and what kind of depth I'm trying to really achieve. So I don't use it on all mixes, but I use parallel compression on most, early reflections maybe on 50–60%. Again, depends on the mix. So it's overloading your laptop because in order to do that, the way I'm teaching it in the videos, you're tending to use a lot of plugins, and I can understand. So you don't always have to do it, but if it needs it, I use it. So I hope that answers your question. Yeah, upgrade that RAM. That is certainly going to help you as far as overloading the laptop with using lots of plugins. So try to put as much RAM in that computer as you can. Whatever the max is, that's what I would try to put in if you can, and that's going to help. But it's really all going to come down to the processor speed, what you're trying to achieve, how many plugins, how big your session is, and all of that. And I talk a lot about that on my YouTube channel, and there's lots of videos around that subject. So Chris, thanks for writing in. I hope that answers your question. If not, hit me up again, and I will try to help you even further. So that's it for this week's Questions and Coffee video. Again, if you want one of your questions answered send it to info@homerecordingmadeeasy.com, and I will try to get it into another video for you. And a lot of times I'll hit you back up with an email quickly to try to help, as long as the question is kind of short and concise. If it's a super long, drawn out thing, I usually do it in video format. So until the next video, this has been Dave at homerecordingmadeeasy.com. Again, hit that subscribe button, give me the thumbs up, share this video with others, go into my archive. I have over 350 videos around recording, mixing, and mastering, so there's a lot of tutorials on there. I hope you check it out. I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.